Welcome to greencardguys.tv. You need to know this. Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening, y'all? My name is John Ting. I'm an immigration attorney with a physical office in Houston, Texas. We're here to secure legal status to live and work in America legally because the government doesn't care. But we do. We care here at Green Card Guys, okay? So you're welcome to drop a question in the comment section, okay? If you're new here, please put the number 1 in a chat box, okay? We'd love to know if, if you're a first timer, because I have a lot of information to share. Okay. Even before President Trump took office, immigration wise, there's usually something changes like once a week or once a month. But with President Trump in office, literally almost every day, immigration is in the news. Y'all probably tired of it. There's a lot for the immigration attorneys to keep track of, but we're happy to do it for y'all. Okay. To share information with y'all. Now, here's the deal, though. If you have a question for me, I'm happy to answer. I'll try my best. Because we do allow people to join as a guest, really help you point you in the right direction, literally, so that maybe you don't even have to pay a 3-digit strategy session fee, okay? Sometimes you might want a second opinion because you're considering a lawyer, maybe you already have a lawyer. Happy to share our insights here. Okay, but please know, especially on TikTok, if you have a question, please try not to copy and paste. Okay, yes, I might miss your question, but I'm looking at multiple platforms here. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and also TikTok. So welcome in. Okay, but yeah, let me know. Look, if you have a pending case, put the letter P. If you filed your case, put the letter P. Let's take it a step further. If you believe your case could be delayed or stuck, put the letter D. If you want, go ahead and tell me the month and year in which kind of application, like adjustment of status, meaning you're here in America. That's AOS. So you could put, for example, January 2024 AOS. That gives me an idea, so I can provide you quicker solutions here. All right. So yeah, some of you lucky you filed the case. All right, good, glad to hear. Now, some of you have asked this question of, should you even apply anymore? Should you essentially just give up? And hell no, you should not give up. Look, if you're eligible, maybe you already talked to a lawyer, or you need to talk to us here at Green Card Guys. We're happy to help you. But look, let me see here. Okay, we put it there for a reason, because a lot of y'all are hella slow, really slow. We talked to many people. Some people contact us like a year later, like, oh man, I didn't have a DWI earlier, last year when I contacted you, but now I do, or now I have a charge of assault. Am I still eligible? Or even if it's a victim of a crime, police departments, there's like essentially deadlines for everything. Okay, most people don't talk about it, but for a lot of police departments, they have a policy that, let's say you do file a police report at the police station, or at wherever you are, at home or at the bar or something, but you don't act on it. You don't ask them to sign a certification form to verify you cooperated. I think in Houston PD could be like a 2-year policy, could be even 1 year. I don't remember right now, but many cities police department have that kind of policy where they limit it. Do I believe they should have that kind of limitation? No, but we don't run that department, right? It's their own policy. So it's better to take action, to investigate, to find out. Okay. All right. Exactly. CS. Don't give up. All right. Let's see. Let me answer some questions. Again, you're welcome to join as a guest. On TikTok is right down here. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you got to email in for the link. Okay. Stephanie just got married last year. Congratulations to you. Your husband came here legally. Is it advisable to adjust his status now? Um, and I'm assuming, Stephanie, are you U.S. citizen? Then yes, definitely advisable to file for all the forms because he did come here legally. All right. So definitely, let's see here. So by the way, just a quick plug, okay? So, but if you are interested in, at the very least, contacting our office, maybe even authorize our team to help you, guide you from start to finish, we're happy to do that. So this is what it looks like on TikTok and on Facebook and YouTube. It looks like this. There we go. Okay, so you got a couple options here. Take advantage of it. You can see on the top of the screen is pre-qualify. We only charge this amount to meet with one of our client care specialists. This, if you, I really recommend that you read our Google reviews. Like if your spouse or your partner asks, your friend even asks you, hey, which restaurant, check out this restaurant on Google. You probably check reading those reviews for like 10 minutes. Okay. Tap the screen, give me a heart, thumbs up if that's true. All right. So if you're going to spend that amount of time to read about restaurants, you should do that. You should do that for law firms or a professional service, even for a plumber, right? It's basically buyer beware. We're at 4.99 stars. We really try our best to please everyone. Sometimes we can't. It's kind of like politics in that way. We really try. The Trump administration, they're definitely not trying to please anyone except their lobbyist. Okay, that's for sure. All right, but if you want legal advice, of course, that is option number 2, and that is 3 digits. So that's different. Most of it's limited availability because our attorneys are working on the cases for due diligence, quality control, which is what you would expect, right? All right, so let's see here. I see some questions. Thank you so much. Kitchen prep. Oh, you got an ASMR channel? That's kind of cool. I mean, not kind of, that is cool. Work permit pending for more than 6 months. Okay. Well, you might want to consider expedite request if you need to. Okay. But usually expedite request for work permit, that is typically if there's some kind of job loss. Let's see here. Let me switch back and forth between the different channels. If you're on TikTok and you want to join, go ahead and also share the channel because that's my best way of knowing who's next. Lucky, you filed in November 2024. Okay, so you put the letter P. Yeah, yours is definitely not delayed. And by the way, y'all, I do record like kind of like behind the scenes or my reflection after an interview. I try not to post it the same day out of course, respect for that client. And of course, I don't mention the client's name, but in case USCIS officers are watching it. Um, so, but please take note of that. My team usually posts it on all the channels so you can get a real time experience as real time as possible. Okay. But essentially, for these marriage based, it doesn't even have to be marriage based, but any family based adjustment status, expect there to be an interview. There's two main ways that the USCIS policy manual says that they review if they can even, when they decide your case. It's the documents, okay, the paper evidence that we print, and also your testimony in person, okay? So don't assume just because how it was done under Biden administration, where they were waiving interviews, the purpose of that was to reduce the processing times. Trump administration, they don't give a F. They don't give a flip about um, reducing processing times. Okay. No, I know a couple of y'all here and there might get it like 6 months or something, but expect the interview to happen about average 12 months. Okay. Average 12 months for the interview. Z Evans, how much is our consult fee? It is 3 digits. For me, it starts with the number 3. I try my best not to mention it here because, especially this platform, I don't want to be banned. I mean, I guess the ban's gonna happen anyway, but you can check our website. I'll mention there. But mine, in particular, if in Houston, it does starts with the number 3. If it's virtual like this, like Google Meeting, then mine starts with the number 2. Okay. Otherwise, my associates starts with the number 2 as well. We try to be flexible as best as possible. Let's see here. Someone named me on YouTube. I recommend filing I-130 for your petition for your spouse who entered without inspection? Um, normally my my advice before Trump administration is if you're a resident, then I would just wait. But now, I mean, now that it's President Trump, and if for some reason the immigrant spouse or family member gets referred to court, okay, where you can exercise your due process rights, then you definitely want to have some kind of application on file, okay? Especially if your spouse gets detained. We've had clients we had to help facilitate a chaplain at the detention center, and that's worked, but it's obviously difficult logistics wise. The chaplain is not available 24/7 at the detention center. So look, bros, if you haven't proposed yet and you already know you're in a committed relationship, you might want to propose at the very least. Okay. And I know some of y'all have proposed already, but haven't taken the next step. Like maybe your engagement has been like 1 year plus. I know, like America, we have this societal thing like engagement is about 1 year. Everyone's different. Some people are only engaged for like 2 months. It's all good. Just don't be too slow. Okay. If you know what I'm saying, please tap the screen. If you're on TikTok, click the hearts or thumbs up on your respective platform. All right, let's see here. So, long story short, for the person named me on YouTube, yes, I would still file a petition, even if you're a resident. Okay. The G, welcome back. Today marks the day 63 for you since you last submitted your RFE on this medical exam. What do I think? Can I give you some assurance? Whew, I wish I could, the G. The thing is, like, if it becomes, some of you may have had the interview. I think the G, you had an interview, maybe, or maybe you didn't. But let's say it's regardless of that, if you had an interview or not, um, then if it's been 15 months and it's adjustment of status case or even petition only, we would file a mandamus lawsuit. That is the solution. That is really the last ditch effort, because some of you have tried to submit inquiry and that goes nowhere. It's crickets. Some of you had contacted your congressperson, your elected official where you live, crickets. Well, they might eventually reply back to you in 30 days or so. And usually the reply back is that your case is still processing. You're like, whoa, that was wild. Didn't know that. Of course my case is processing. Or people abroad, they would say like your case is undergoing background check, like obviously, like, but is there what you're probably looking for is like, okay, how much longer will it be? They don't know that information. So God bless those people who are working as elected official. They don't know shit. Okay. What they usually do is they have to contact, some official or liaison with USCIS. Um, and that's how they get that really blanket kind of information. It's usually not too case specific. So I try to make this show family friendly, but sometimes it's just natural to curse. So I apologize. I don't curse in my personal life, just about work related. My goodness. All right. So let's see. Thank you so much for your questions. Again, especially if you're on TikTok, they make it a lot easier. If you want to join live, you click down below. I will be here because I do have a lot of meetings. I'm also, one of y'all on this platform hired us for interview representation and prep. So we're going to go out to that other state outside of Texas and help that person out. Okay. So yeah, even if you filed your own case, there's at least, well, four scenarios you should consider contacting us. Okay. That is, if you receive a request for evidence, you have about 87 days or less to reply, or notice of intent to deny. That's short name NOID. You have less than 30 days to apply. Or you get a denial letter. You have less than 30 days because you need to file a motion to reconsider or reopen within 30 days. Sometimes the advice could be just to refile the case, but you need to talk to our team. Okay. And the fourth scenario is if you have received an interview notice. Okay. We don't mind helping out in the quote unquote middle of the case or after you filed, but those are the main four scenarios to consider. I mean, of course, if you, for those who have not filed a case yet, put the number one in the chat box. But you, of course, you may be considering it, whatnot, or maybe you're engaged, what like that, or married already, whatever relationship type. But you have not filed, put the number one in the chat box. It is in your best interest to have a lawyer right by you, quote unquote, okay, to help you, guide you from start to finish. All right. That I think that there's always immigration problems. That's why I created this channel in the first place. I was really resistant to social media. Now my team says I like it, but it's a full-time job. So I'm coming out here trying to drop some knowledge, drop some gems here for you. Um, and I also have a crap ton to say. So let me answer some questions here. All right, CES, you applied for AOS February 2025. Okay. You got approved. ALRO? What is ALRO? I haven't seen that acronym before. Hey, Mary, what's going on? Audrey, what is the cost to adjust status from permanent resident to citizenship? My team's happy to share. I'm not allowed to share pricing here. I guess I can get away with this on the background, but we can talk to my team. You just schedule right here these options. Sufido, you're a green card holder with a 15 over miles per hour speeding ticket paid. Should you worry for international travel? So no, I wouldn't. Look, if you're, I'll give you the succinct advice here in terms of travel. If you're a resident, then in general, I would not be concerned as long as your card still shows as valid. Now, there's a lot of other advice in terms of protecting your ability to become a citizen in the future and also protect your status so that you're not deemed abandoned of your resident status. The key note in that is 6 months or less outside America per year, okay, or even consecutive. So, and if you think you're going to be traveling from that, but let's say even 5 months, maybe it's because of work. You never know if the work's going to say, "Hey, bro, can you stay for another month, 2 months?" You're like, my clock's ticking here. I got to go back. I don't want to break the continuous presence for naturalization, become a citizen. So, but if you're concerned, y'all's travel concerns are more about like, hey, you heard the news or you saw a video here and there. I would be more concerned for people in terms of travel who are residents if they have conditional resident status and they did not file the proper form to remove those conditions to obtain permanent residency. Which, by the way, hot tip, that's a 751 form. It's not the I-90. The I-90 can be confusing. Okay, so that's another reason why to hire a lawyer sooner than later. Because some people who have, bless their heart, bless y'all's hearts. Some of y'all think that you read the USCIS website and it's a simple process. Not quite. So some people file the I-90 and then you don't hear back for like 2 years. At that point, you're like, what the hell happened? Why is it denied? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But of course, we're happy to help you. It's better that you contact attorney before you file, if possible. Okay. Let's see. And plus, Sufi do ask about the speeding ticket. Since you paid it, then it should not be a concern. Who's saying your green card returned to USCIS, your location not complete? Okay, so like yesterday, I actually went to the post office yesterday. Oh, like, oh my God. Because some reason USCIS did not have our suite number in the address, even though our G28 form had the suite number. The other notices had the suite number, so we did receive other mail, but somehow the suite number was left off for the president card. Like, holy hell, right? So as soon as we found out, of course, I went to the post office. Tracking number was there, available on the USCIS page. It said it was at that location. I went down there as soon as possible. Okay, we were able to pick it up. All right, but and so if you so for Hussein, make sure is verify if you have that tracking number and actually said that. Hopefully, it didn't actually get returned to USCIS. If you haven't visited the post office, then definitely do that. Okay, and just have it ready on your phone, on your browser, or print it out, because who knows, maybe it might not show up, but at least have the tracking number so that the clerk at the post office can check it for you. Okay, which, by the way, if you go to the post office, I do encourage you to go earlier in the day. I don't know what it is about the post office; it's kind of slow, and it's usually not the clerk; it's the people in line are hella slow. I should get sponsored because we use a website, by the way, to print out the labels and just drop it in the box. It makes it so much easier. All right, the person with the period in their username, should you do a K1 or spouse? Which one is faster? You're a U.S. citizen, your significant other lives in Austin. I can give you the short answer, but go ahead and ask that in a comment in one of my videos. You could be a random video, you can comment, and then I will try my best to reply with a more like a longer answer. Okay. But the short answer is get married. Okay. Do the marriage pathway. Okay. But your significant lover, your partner lives in, is it Austin? Is that what you're trying to type in? But if you're either way, I mean, even when a person, the immigrant beneficiary is in America, Austria. Okay. Austria. Austin. I'm thinking Austin because it's only like what 3 hours away from Houston. So Austria. Okay, so yeah, consular that's abroad. So if you're able to travel there and get married, then I recommend it. So take note of this. There is an ability to get married remotely. There are some risks to that, but you can get married remotely in Utah County, Utah State. Okay, none of you have to show proof of residence there, and we've been successful with that, right? But there's risk because the USCIS policy manual says that you have to consummate the marriage. You have to consummate the marriage. Yeah, this person with the period. That's why you have to comment in my video your question, because there's just so much more advice to that other than just processing times. Okay, there's a lot more, way more to it than you think. And I just don't have time to talk about one topic on the channel right now. So please comment your question in one of my videos. And Rosie, please, no need to copy and paste your questions. I will get to it as soon as I can. But look, y'all, please note that I do the live show differently than others. We definitely want to maintain a level of respect here because a lot of y'all have questions. So TikTok, and you don't know this, it's okay. That's what I'm happy to share. TikTok makes me it auto scrolls it down if people keep commenting. So if you keep copy and paste the same question, it slows me down, and I'm trying to get y'all answers fast. Okay, so I wish I could put that disclaimer on the screen. Maybe I should. Yeah, Tony, I don't. It was. I was trying to figure out what the heck that green screen was. It came from because I used Mac, and it came from our FaceTime thing. It was like a new feature. I was like, what the heck is going on? Let's see. Let me go to. Okay, Masood. USCIS does not require GC holder to register, but is there a way to confirm that they are registered? So if you're a green card holder, I'm pretty sure I read that you're in the system because one of the ways, which I have a video on this, it should be on all the platforms now. Okay, I know y'all only watch 60-second videos, but with immigration, it's really best that we're able to be as thorough as possible, which does require longer form videos. Um, so Masood, yeah, one of the ways that you are already registered without you probably even knowing is that if you file the 485 application. That's what I'm saying. Like the government already has information on y'all. Some of y'all acting like they don't. But that I'm not trying to say that to say that you should register. That's your determination. I can't tell you. No lawyer can tell you register or not, but we can tell you what the guidelines are. Okay? Because of I mean, the thought is if you register yourself, then of course the more information they have, the updated address, then potentially they could go to your where you live, right? But that's one school of thought. But if you don't register, then you're subject to penalties that the White House claims that they're going to enforce. So we'll see. Um, but I can tell you they don't got their shit together because even some attorneys who had to register like an account on CBP One app, they received an email like it's a shit show. Okay, excuse my French, but yeah, they're just trying to mass essentially it's like a mass email. We try to be thoughtful of who we email, but I do need to email more thorough information about the registration part. So if you're not in their system or email list, go to the link on YouTube. It's down here. Let me see if I can share that one. Where is that at? There we go. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, there's a link like this. Okay. If you're on TikTok, you gotta go to this one. Okay. Gosh, I wish I could point the same direction on these platforms. Okay, but TikTok is right here. What you got to click the profile name for that. Let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my voice. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm scrolling down now. Christopher, you got DACA. You're married. Congratulations to your your wife requested for your visa, but you didn't continue process. Are you still married? Are you still married? Then yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing. Oh snaps! Someone's trying to call me. I don't answer. By the way, hot tip here, especially if you have not lived in America, you get a lot of spam calls. My best recommendation is, if you have kids, save the school number. But otherwise, I don't answer I don't know the name. I don't know the number. That's all. It's like 99% of the time is spam. It's crazy. So Christopher, if you're still married, even if you are married, it may be very difficult to reopen the case, especially that long ago. You might have to refile. So contact my team so we can take a look for you, okay? She joined the army. Are you here in America now? Because if you are in America now and your spouse or a family member, like your parent or adult child, has joined the military, then who is a U.S. citizen, then you could be, and you're in America, you could be eligible for what we call parole in place, military parole in place, PIP. Okay, so which the benefit of that is that you don't have to leave America for the interview. um, okay, Christopher, you say you're in Cali. Okay, Cello, how many months it take to citizenship? You mean if you already filed for citizenship and 400? Generally 6 to 12 months. During Biden administration, it was a lot faster as well. All right, Rosie. How much is it going to cost you for me to attend your marriage-based green card in New Jersey? Okay, so We really, I think we're very considerate. I have lawyer connections in other states. We're happy to go attend the interview for you or with you. Okay. Uh, you probably want our team because that's why you're on the channel, right? That's why you're listening. I appreciate that. Okay. But if for some odd reason, especially if like the flight cost or you contact our team a little later than preferred, essentially as soon as you get the interview notice, you should let us know. Okay. Because then our team, my assistant can check the flight costs, and I try my best to stay at a very low cost hotel. Um, Definitely not any like 4-star or something, 5-star, whatever it goes up to. If I could pick a hotel for like 150 or 100, I would do that, right? Just depends on the city. Oh, it's May 12th. May 12th. All right. Well, let me check real quick if I can. Usually I need my assistant to verify because some things are like pending. May 12th. Let me do a quick check. On the top of my mind, it does seem available right now. I got some random thing here though. Okay. May 12th should work. So contact my team, okay? Rosie, appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, looking at YouTube and Facebook. By the way, y'all, what's your experience with like Meta? Facebook or Instagram? Like I kind of just I have accounts there, but it doesn't, especially if you have your own channels as well. I'm kind of curious. I can't stay up to date on the stuff, but Meta seems to suck. Oops, did I say that out loud? Okay. Let's see. Chance number two. You have an appointment with ICE in May. You're a U visa applicant since 2023. The chief of police from your town gave you a letter endorsing you, right? The certification letter. I think you're referring to that, the 918B, and you're requesting ICE to not to deport you. Okay. Do I think you're in danger to be removed? You re-enter the country after a removal order in 2007. Okay, so probably from 2007, that's when you probably had to have the check-in since then. So fortunately, my clients, knock on wood, have not had an issue about that. We've gone to the ICE office, um, and they were like, some of our clients are like, no need to come back. Some people's like once a year type of deal. Okay, I don't know what the rhyme or reason of that is, but some of our clients pretty much all the clients that we've gone to, if I can recall, gone to ICE visit even during Trump administration, they have a removal order. Okay, so but of course it's not kind of like touch and go kind of situation. There has to be some scenario. Maybe the country of nationality won't take you back, or now you have some kind of ability like a stay of removal application, or a marriage petition, something. So let's take or like you said, chance U visa. There was a leak of a memo someone shared with me about a month ago here. So thank you, everyone. Please keep me updated because there's so much going on. You might need to keep me updated. I'm happy. I'm not like most lawyers. I'm happy to learn from y'all too. Okay, and I can of course verify it. But there was a leaked memo about a month ago or so that they're not going to give deference to a person who has a victim visa, like T visa, U visa, automatically. It's going to be like case by case basis. And so, more or less, I think what they're really trying to say is that if you have some kind of, if you have some kind of, um, recent crime or charge or arrest, then that's definitely a reason to, for them, a reason to check your case again. Okay, not like a blanket see you later type deal, touch and go. Yeah, you're welcome, Coda. Jahon, good to see you. Jahon, you got your visa, right? What you still doing in Jamaica? Get your butt over here in America. Oops. Let's see. Let me go back and forth between. Hey, what's up, Joshua Cooper? You have a friend who is a U.S. citizen. Asked if he has a passport. Anything else he might need? Oh, is your friend traveling? Is that what you mean? Or what else going on? Let me see if you commented earlier about that. Let's see here. So I apologize. Some of y'all might miss on accident because of TikTok. It scrolls it down at least. It's easier on YouTube and Facebook. Uh, who the F is Lou? Okay, with the rainbows icon. You're a tourist from ESTA country going on a non-refundable trip soon. Yeah, I mean, to have a lower cost flight, non-refundable is the way to go. There's things that you're. Oops, I don't see your other follow-up comment. Okay, let's see. Thank you so much for y'all's questions. I really appreciate it. Again, if you have a pending case, put the letter P in the chat box. Might as well let me know like what month and year you filed the case and what type of application, maybe AOS, 751, and I'll let you know if it's delayed or not based on the timing. Sunny, welcome back. How long does it take to respond for inquiries? I would say minimum 30 days for USCIS to reply back to you by email. You filed an inquiry for 485. Your I-130 was approved 7 months ago. I think I remember that you mentioned your petition was approved. That's wild, right? So if it's been in general, Sunny or anyone else, if your AOS package has been pending for at least 15 months, then contact my office, schedule a meeting so we can evaluate whether we should file a mandamus lawsuit. It's essentially a last ditch effort. You know, hopefully you don't need me for this, my law firm Green Card Guys Law Group. Hopefully you don't need us, but we're here in case you do. Because look, especially if you got, well, a partner, significant other, or kiddos, they're probably like, yo, daddy or mommy, when are we going to go on this trip? Right? Like, oh my God, my kids are like tugging at my pants to go to Disney cruise. And I'm like, again? So anyways, it's great, by the way. It's a great experience. They really have good customer service. Okay. They just know parents. They really understand. They understand our struggle. Vince Roy Shelton, you're here on a C. What you entered a C1D more than 10 years ago. What's the next option? So generally speaking, for C1D, yeah, there is a prohibition. There's a restriction on adjustment of status in America. So you would need to consult process. But of course, before you leave America, first file petition, file the waiver 601A, and then when you have the interview scheduled, then you leave. Okay, that's the general process. So people have C1D. Shoot, I need to write that down. There's a lot of videos I need to record. If only I had 24 hours in a day of staying awake. My goodness. Okay, let's see here. Some other questions. Let's see. Hazen. Okay, let's get you on live here. Let's make sure YouTube mic can hear this.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. How can I help you today?
I have a question. So I am on the tourist visa here right now in US. But is it possible that I can apply for a green card? I'm a disabled.
And who's your sponsor? I may have missed that part.
Yes, I have a sponsor.
Who is that? A spouse?
It's my friend.
Your friend? Well, did you overstay your visa already?
No, I'm legal right now.
On the tourist visa, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, if the friend could sponsor you through a company, but you would have to leave America first and then come back later.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But
So I got an accident here in US before in 2008. So I was thinking to apply for green card for my medical treatment.
there's no such thing as green card for medical treatment. So I'm assuming you don't have any family members who have status in America right now?
No,
Okay.
only my friend. Yes.
Okay. Well, I wish there was a way to get some kind of status for medical reasons. It's usually like a humanitarian visa for medical reason, but definitely not a green card. So,
Oh,
do you have a friend that has a company maybe that
yes, she
that
does.
needs to hire someone? So, and it depends on your work experience, but we do have a webinar that where you can learn more information about like work sponsorship.
Mm.
Okay, that's this option after you click on my link above,
Oh,
and those are
okay.
free. It's just honestly I don't have as much time to do those, but I try to do that every 2 weeks.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
or you can email my team, call my team, and ask for a specific complimentary guide about employment sponsorship options. Okay,
Oh, yes, thank you. So I appreciate it. So I will email.
perfect. Yeah, one of these
Thank you.
options: schedule meeting or email, or click on this one. Okay.
Mhm.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you, John.
Wish you the best. Take care.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. So follow for more. If you've been here for 1 minute, okay, if I was able to capture attention for 1 minute, you might as well follow, subscribe, click the bell wherever it is. That's the only dancing I'm going to do. Click the bell, follow, because look, you might not have any issues right now, and I wish you all the best. Even before Trump administration, there were immigration problems. He just exacerbated the problems. Okay, if anything, you got to take care of your shit sooner than later, and not wait until you get picked up by ICE. Okay, it's very unfortunate. I've seen videos of like agents like busting windows. They actually want to be on camera. They want to intimidate you. So you got to take action sooner than later. Schedule a meeting, especially if I'm not able to answer your question right here. Oh, say I'm in Texas. I'm in H Town, Houston, Texas, Clutch City. Apparently, that's what they call it here. I'm from Dallas. So, but I am in Houston, Texas. Beck R. Hod, you filed petition September 24th. Okay, so still tracking proper timing. Rosie, did you schedule yet? All right, let's see here. So yeah, if you see the image right here about our option number one with our client care specialists for pre-qualify session, they're not attorneys, but I train them every day. They're really tired of hearing from me, probably. They're like, John, can you make shorter videos? Because I talk a lot, right? So the thing is, because some of y'all are not eligible, and I feel bad. I'm one of those lawyers. I feel bad if you pay 3 digits and come to find out you're not eligible. So try to save you some money. But if you believe you're eligible or you want to verify, then you can schedule a meeting with option one. And our client care specialist does contact our legal team to verify, of course. Okay. So we definitely want to provide you that peace of mind. Chrissy on TikTok, your interview for green card is on May 5th. What do you do to prepare, especially for the interview questions? Okay, so I might need to record a video for y'all about that. I think, there's a lot of questions they could ask you almost every interview, whether we attended or not. Of course, I do recommend an attorney. If there's any time period in history to have an attorney, it's with the Trump administration. Okay. But again, even before Trump, some people were denied. Um, but one of the main questions, especially if it's a marriage case, it's like, how did you meet? And you would think that it would be like a simple answer, like everyone should get it right. But especially if people are separated, which is not a common, it doesn't happen all the time. If they suspect some kind of potential fraud, then they're gonna separate y'all. So if they already separated y'all, please know that's not normal. Like you should have your like a light bulb open up. It's not saying like leave the interview. You definitely don't want to do that, but um, you just want to be mindful and just recognize the situation. Okay, so one of the main questions: how did you meet? Some people mess it up. The ones that's more precise in time is like, okay, when did you meet? When was your first date? And some people get confused, like, was it, especially dudes? Okay, when the date you met initially is not, you get it mixed up with the first date. Some guys mess that up. But I'll try to be gender neutral here. We all have some kind of memory issues, right? So no matter what the age is. Oh, Tony. Tony, you're not rooting for my Dallas Mavericks? Did that play in game already happen? Let me check real quick. I haven't really been following basketball recently because my team Dallas Mavericks decided to trade the hottest player this decade for some odd reason, Luca. So yeah, I haven't been following. Okay, interesting. We'll see what happens. Let's see. But I know the Warriors are kind of stacked right now. Yeah, fire Nico. We're really trying to root for that. I mean, he knows it's happening. They're probably just waiting for the right time. Okay. DACA case has been on hold, Leo, since 2021. When are they going to process your backlog cases? Did you file initial, Leo, initial application? That might be why. Because you file initially, then they are not going to make a decision on your case. But if you're a renewal, then that's something's going on. If it's a renewal, then we may want to consider a Mandamus lawsuit. Cam, can you start the I-130 if your foreign wife is in the midst of changing her last name to married name? Yeah, you can. So it's just something about American society. We just assume that one spouse takes the name of the other. I know that's quote unquote a lot easier if it's male and female. But we help, of course, clients of any relationship type. But so on the immigration form, I would just go ahead and put, if the foreign spouse wants to take your last name, for example, then I would just go ahead and put that as the main name. And then in the box where it says other names used, put the maiden name. Okay. Typically, we never had any pushback of like, provide me an order change of name certificate, but they could require the change of name certificate later on. Okay. But if you're going to put, if the foreign spouse is going to take your last name, then it's highly recommended that that new name is on the marriage certificate. So there's some kind of proof. I should probably record a video about that too. Name change scenarios. I gotta use my old school paper here. Okay. Christopher, would it be a simple process since she's in the military? It depends on your scenario. I mixed up. I can't remember your specific facts. I think you're in America, LA, maybe California. So Christopher, if you entered, for anyone, in terms of if you have a spouse or a family member, close, like in the nucleus family member who is in the military, then that's only beneficial for you, the immigrant, if you entered America without a visa, because then if that's the case, then you can have the interview in America. So that's a real benefit that people have been able to utilize, which is great. But in terms of like processing time, no, it doesn't make it faster. Definitely not. Which would be nice if they did for everyone involved. Yosha, how often do they check phones? I have no effing idea. I think it's random. By the way, for those, I know the Visa Bulletin has popped up. I'm going to record a video about the Visa Bulletin. The May Bulletin just popped up for the F4 category. It advanced quite a few months, actually. It was showing, I think, 2007 for last month's bulletin, April bulletin, 2007. Now it shows January 2008, I believe. So it bumped up several months. All right. And of course, I'll explain that in a separate video. Pagu Tim, your K1 interview visa was sent to a different country. How long did it take to change that? Change it back to your country? I don't know. I mean, have you assuming you contacted the consulate embassy? Sometimes it's 30 days, but there's no black and white timing. I think the best person to ask is that consulate embassy, like when to expect it to get transferred over. Yeah, it depends on the embassy. Thank you, UK. Okay, I see a couple of people on the want to join. Let's get Manuel and then Sunny. Again, if you're trying to join as a guest, please share the live show so I can see it, just in case. Oh, good luck, Tony. Y'all play in Houston. Apparently, they're second seed right now. I had no idea. Okay, this Manuel Humera. I also checked the other categories. Only a couple advanced, but for it's been 39 Mo, it's been 39 days since your interview and no response. You're confused. There's no need to be confused. There's no need. I think y'all are assuming that USCIS is like top notch and they have a good workflow. Like I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I cannot guarantee that, of course, hiring a law firm means that you're going to get some kind of decision sooner. But I can say that the majority of our cases, our clients' applications have been approved in a timely manner. Um, Again, I cannot guarantee that. But 39 days, yeah, that is longer than usual. Like last week, I got 2 interviews in Dallas, um, Wednesday and Thursday, and the one on Wednesday was most likely approved by Thursday or Friday because we got the letter in the mail, the physical snail mail, on Monday. Okay, so I mean that was pretty quick, right? They never approve on the same day, by the way. Well, let me take that back. I can't say absolute. I remember at least one case was approved same day. Um, but again, if it's in general, you're from your receipt date, 15 months, then we can consider a filing lawsuit. Okay. And you might say you're confused because you're like, oh, you look like it was a good interview, like nothing wrong, right? They didn't ask you for more documents. Um, Here's a key thing. If you're like, bro, I mean, I can't hire any attorney, your budget's tight. I get it. So here's a tip: get your pen and pencil out or your keyboard. If you have an interview and they ask you at the very end, even if they don't ask, but you know you're at the tail end of the interview, right? Um, but if they do ask, like, oh, do you have any questions? Um, Ask them. Of course, don't waste your time and their time by asking, okay, so you're going to approve me? Don't ask that. Okay, they're not going to answer you. So, but what you can ask is, officer, do you expect there to be a RFE, request for evidence? So then you can have idea what a little better expectation. Okay. Okay. The person I clicked on earlier, it timed out for some reason. I think that was Mo or something. So if you are able to rejoin there, you're welcome to. Thank you. Okay. So I got about 5 minutes left. Okay, y'all. Happy to, if I don't answer your question, I'm so sorry. But what you got to do is follow. If you've been here for at least 1 minute, and many of y'all have been here for like 30 minutes at least, click follow wherever it is. Click the bell for future notifications. I'm like pointing everywhere, wherever it shows up on your screen. And then just schedule a meeting. Because if you're like waiting, no, I mean, I really appreciate y'all staying on, but if I'm not able to get to you in like an hour, there's a lot of questions and I always a lot of insights. But if you're like time is the essence, like Rosie, you got an interview May 12th. I try to have a good memory here. Then just go ahead and schedule a meeting. Option number 1. I got to point both ways depending on the platform. Humera, wait for my video on that. Okay, that should be tomorrow. Okay. Jay Jallo, if they keep your password, does that mean you're approved? No, not necessarily. Some people, if you mean at the consular embassy, they keep it for like a month. That doesn't mean That doesn't mean they're going to issue the visa on the passport. Not necessarily. Can USCIS see something in your record if there's no arrest or detainment or didn't go to jail? I think the key thing is here is if you had to take fingerprints, then it should pop up in their system, okay? Isabella, how long does perm green card take? So perm is like one step of the process, and that by itself could take about 8 months to a year. It takes a hell of a long time, which is why with our team at Green Card Guys, internally, before we file an application to a specific government agency, we really try our best to reduce our own internal prep time. Because the sooner we file something, we know the government's going to take a long time anyway. But in general, for EB process, it's minimum usually all the steps involved except the very last one. Then it takes about 2 years. And then you got to wait for priority date on the visa bulletin. You know what? I need to record another video about that. Here goes my long list already. Okay. All right, y'all. 29 Super C. Yes, we help with EB3. We help with a lot of cases, y'all. There are some that we don't help with, which one of them was already done for us, the humanitarian parole. If we are not able to help you for any reason, maybe because of timing or the application type, we're happy to refer you to a list of lawyers. And of course, if you prefer someone in person, like in your city area, we're happy to share. Okay, there's a lot of us. I know a lot of good lawyers. Okay, I've heard of several bad lawyers, and if that's the case, and they're criminally charged and put in jail, you bet I'm going to record a video. If you find a video about that or news press release on that, let me know. Share it with me. Because sometimes you might be able to apply for U visa. There's one in the Bronx recently. Okay. Let me get Sunny on, then maybe one more person after that. What's going on, Sunny? How can I help you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you so much to adding me. So we talked around 3-4 months ago, but it's the same situation right now again. So I applied everything. I came here visitor and married a US citizen, and I applied pretty much 2 years ago, everything. I-130, EAD, and I-485. So work permit is approved. I-130 is approved. I-485 is still pending. It's been more than 7-8 months.
7-8 months for interview, but you said 2 years in general from receipt date.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, I would consider file a Mandamus lawsuit, which we do pretty much every day.
I put an inquiry, and it's been more than 30 days. I haven't heard anything about it from them, so I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
And are they applied? Are they respond in 30 business days or in general 30 days?
I just think in general, but the thing is, like, even if it takes 35 days, 40 days, there's nothing you could do about it, right?
Yeah.
Can't blame them or something. There's no like complaint button. That would be nice, but in fact, the only other interagency that was kind of like the complaint button was the ombudsman office, but apparently they got rid of it like recently. So so yeah, that's why the Mandamus lawsuit is, in your situation, the next option. Okay. I know a lot of people are concerned about it in general, but you can see my other videos that you may have watched already on these platforms. And we have you click on the LINK, we do have a complimentary guide about Mandamus on the link. Okay, so check that out.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. But I heard Mandamus lawsuit is pretty much quite expensive.
You could talk to my team about that. It depends on anyone's budget, what expensive is. I don't know. Some people buy a $100,000 car, but I think that's expensive, but I don't know. It just depends on what your preference level, I guess, your budget. Okay. Thank you, Sonny. Wish you the best. Okay. So that's the thing. Some people I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen and share insights. Here, share suggested solutions if I can. But some people think that because a petition, another application has been approved already, that, oh, your other application, typically, by the way, if they're going to approve the petition, the 485 you usually get in the mail the next day, the approval letter. I know it's weird, right? It should, why not even just do the same notice? But that's just not how the government works. They like to waste resources and be slow about everything. But for some reason, so there's not necessarily like a problem with your 485 application. Maybe there's nothing wrong, but what happened, right? The case is stuck. Okay. It's not like they're reviewing it again. So at this point, mandamus lawsuit is the option. Let's see here. Lucky one. Could I tell you which health insurance are safe for green card holders to apply for? You know what? I'll see if I can record a video. I don't know if that'd be outside of my scope, but just thinking about health insurance in general, I could probably give some tips in general for those who are not documented, especially. But for my company, I use a broker to to provide the different plans. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. And then I'm getting one more person that I gotta head out. I think that's Vanya. Again, if I'm not able to answer your question, oh well, I guess timed out. Let's get Top Manuela.
Hello?
Hello, how can I help you?
Hey, you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
I got a question. So, I was charged twice. No conviction. My case was dismissed two months ago. Can I travel internationally?
Well, what status do you have first?
I got a green card.
Okay, good. And what kind of? It may depend on your charge. Was this straight dismissal?
One was nullied, and the next one was dismissal.
Oh, okay, so one was straight dismissal. So the first one before, I don't know what. No low contender, is that what you mean? That one?
The one was dismissed and one was nullied. My lawyer said it's same mean dismissed. They both was dismissed.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means since I don't practice criminal defense. But
no conviction or nothing. When I called the court, I was talking to them. They said, I'm all good. There's no conviction. There's nothing. My lawyer already told me, but I was just making sure. So I was just trying to see if I could travel in for international. Because I got no conviction, no felony, or nothing.
Yeah, that's good. But here's the other thing. So my typical advice like this is like, okay, sure, no conviction, straight dismissal, then sure, travel. But with the Lincoln-Riley Act that was passed in January, February, that adds another layer of concern. So are you familiar with that one, the new law on that?
Not sure.
Okay, you might want to check one of my videos about it. It's probably easier to find it on YouTube, my YouTube channel, greencardguys.tv. But if I recall, it's if someone has been arrested for murder. I'm pretty sure you didn't have that. Theft, larceny, and possibly for assault. I can't remember right now, but you want to check that out, okay? And that only requires an arrest, okay? It does not require conviction to be referred back to immigration court. So you definitely want to check that out. Maybe even schedule a meeting with us so we can take a little closer look, okay?
So if I schedule a meeting with you guys, would you guys be able to pull up my information on the court cases and what happened and then make the decision?
No, to be honest, that takes a lot of time. We're happy to do that since it sounds like you already have a criminal defense lawyer. And if you don't have the documents, then share that with us. We're happy to do that research for clients, but not for like strategy session. Okay, so do you have it already?
Huh?
Do you have the documentation?
I don't. I would have to request them from the court, basically to prove send to you guys email.
Oh, did you have a criminal defense lawyer? It sounded like you did.
Yeah, I do.
Just ask their office. They're should be able to send it. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was asking him, and he said I would have to have them have them mail it to my house or something. I'm not even living in that state no more.
Just tell them to email it to you. What's their problem? I don't understand.
Okay, I'm gonna see.
Even if it's an encrypted file or something, like zip file or something.
You think I should ask my lawyer to have them email to me, or try to confirm, call the court and see if they would email them to me?
The court's not going to email to you. Here's the thing, because you already paid your lawyer, right? So, I mean, look, if the crime happened like 10 years ago, I think the less expectation, right? But like, if you're going to pay the court, I mean, you have to, if to get it from the court, that you have to pay a fee,
Yeah, I know.
right? So, I mean, yeah, if your law firm is like, your criminal defense lawyer is like, bro, that was 5 years ago. We don't have it on record anymore, or their file storage, right? Then yeah, just call the court. But I mean, if a client comes to us, like from a long time ago, we're like, okay, here's a Dropbox link. It's like takes 5 seconds, right? So just it doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, we'll save you some time. All right, good luck. Take care. All right. I got a break. Got several meetings today. Really just want to hop in for a hot 15 minutes, but to turn into an hour. So I love sharing information. Hey JKC, don't you worry, you keep your case going, okay? For anyone who has parole, I know that's a recent concern the last 2 weeks, parole ending, whatnot. If you are married and you're eligible for adjustment of status, essentially what that regulation is saying, that if you have parole and you have not filed adjustment status, I think it was before April 24th, April 26th, they're basically telling you the same thing I'm telling you. Take action. So don't delay, okay? All right. So thank you so much. I got to hop off. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.